Hi guys, how's everybody doing? We are here with a general and timeless reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm just seeing there be this characterization. I'm seeing you and another person. I'm seeing like a seemingly close relationship that you have with this person, or at least you feel in some like cosmic way that you've sort of been paired up with them. You guys may have natures that are like a bit different from one another, but I'm seeing there be a sense of like mutual appreciation, maybe because of like the differences between the two of you. We're starting off with the Magician. The Magician is you in a space where you feel very in touch with your power. Maybe feeling quite creative at work. You could have a creative job. Could be creating something important when it comes to the work that you're doing. This is something where you feel like you're channeling like a very pure energy, and that is heightening the quality of work that you're doing, and that there's something like then being produced that can be seen. The Magician is really like taking stuff that comes like inwardly, seemingly from like a cosmic atmosphere, coming down, and then having the finger pointing down is like making this thing materialize. And to have the King of Pentacles come out after this is like something that's associated with a role of yours. It could be related with like the work that you're doing, the job that you do, and you really being seen as a creative, a creator, something unique and original that you put into the work that you do. For some of you, I'm getting stuff with web pages, web design. That makes sense for Mercury. Mercury can have to do with broadcasting, communication, sales, advertising, things around your local community, communications, anything where you're like getting something out there, like usually like words and messages and stuff. When it comes to like pictures being communicated, that would be more of a Piscean thing. Just depends on what sign your Mercury is in, as far as how that is, how that shows up for you. But yeah, you may be in a career where like you are the creator of something. And I mean, aren't we all creatives in our own way? But there may be something specifically like with your job where you're creating something. Mercury also has to do with writing and stuff like that. Writing, dialogue. It looks like you've created something successfully. This can also be you in like any type of creative position. Are you even like manifesting the type of job that you want? Why is this little Seven of Swords out here? Could be doubting yourself a bit. Seven of Swords is like, I see this as being like, I've stepped into this energy, and I feel like what I'm doing is very valuable, and I'm making something that feels genuine to me and authentic to me, and I feel really like I'm on track here, and that this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now, and the work that I'm doing is worth something. It means something to me. It's valuable. Values with the Pentacles. I feel useful. I feel bountiful. And Seven of Swords sneaking up can be like, do you really? Do you feel like an imposter? Do you feel like your work isn't doing anything? It's like all of those doubts that creep up. It's like this little shadow showing up here. But I'm seeing you be in a space where you really have the tools to work with this, even though we don't like have as much control of the shadow, and when it shows up and says hello to us, it seems like you're getting more and more comfortable sitting with that and being like, okay, it's coming to visit today. Like maybe we'll sit down and have tea with one another, have a conversation, see what's going on. It's like, rather than seeing this as the enemy when it pops up, and for some of you this is another person around you, but regardless of whether it is or it isn't, it's always going to be a reflection of something internally popping up. So this would, even if you're dealing with somebody outside of yourself that you may be seen characterized as the shadow, this is also interplay that's happening inside of you as well. Just depends on your perspective of the narrative. So anyway, this thing is coming up and there's some sort of like doubt / shadow energy that's coming up that's having you maybe feel inferior, or just a weird type of way that doesn't feel good about the work that you're doing or about the position that you're in. But I'm seeing you be like highly, highly creative. To have the Magician here next to the King of Pentacles, you do something artistic. And it may not be you like painting somebody's walls or something, or making furniture, but there's like a special type of artistic communication that happens through the work that you do, where you feel like there's like a pureness of it that goes from something happening within you and then you expressing it outwardly. And that makes it very special to you, and there's a sense of you feeling like you are firing on all like cylinders at this level, and you feel good about it. Now, Seven of Swords pops up and has you feeling a sense of doubt. I'm getting doubt strongly from this. Seven of Swords has many different faces. Right now, you may primarily be experiencing this as doubt. It's swords, so this means that it's like doing something to you mentally, creating some sort of static for you, fogginess. But then to have the King of Cups coming out, I'm seeing you have, I'm hearing arsenal. I'm seeing you have like a toolbox of tools that you can use when I keep getting doubts over and over again. Doubt, doubt, doubt. This can be feeling too uncomfortable with the work that you're doing, not in a deeper sense, but more so like, what are other people saying? Are they judging me? Like, is my work good enough? Like, am I really representing myself here? It can have you like doing a lot of double takes, triple takes. But to have King of Cups here, it's like, I've dealt with this. I know what this looks like for me. This is just another time where I'm going to have to like employ this and have it come down. Channel my King of Cups energy, which King of Cups is somebody that's like, come on, shadow, like, let's go for a walk together. Like, let's talk about it. What's going on? And instead of you having this like shadow that's lurking around in the corners that you're trying to run away from, it just becomes something that you kind of like let come into the room, and you talk to it and you see what's going on there. And that's the shadow work that you're doing. You're collaborating with yourself, and you're asking like, why did you show up today? Where are you coming from? You know? Again, rather than being like terrorized by this thing, because you can't help that it showed up, and it's going to help when you work with it. Some of you may be feeling sad about something too. Or you could be like looking back at things from the past, feeling maybe a little bit of a blue nostalgia. Okay. I see this very much as like you collaborating, you working with yourself. Again, this can be another person that you're working with that you find it difficult to work with this person. But I want to emphasize that as much as this can be a person outside of you that you're working with, this is simultaneously interplay that's going on within you, okay? So you may also be seeing this reflected in an interpersonal relationship, but this is primarily, it's just a reflection of what's going on internally, okay? This is like a change in the way that you do something, a change in the way that you collaborate. And I'm seeing it be collaborating with you and your energy. It's like you when you're at work and what you're creating and your emotional well-being and your standpoint and how you synthesize those things. Because it's not like when you work and when you're doing work, your emotional body is completely detached from that. It may be put on pause or put on a back burner, but I'm seeing something come up where it's not just you at work now and that persona. There's also this aspect of you that's like maybe a more personal aspect of you that needs to come through and maybe do some managing of something that you feel needs to be managed mentally, psychologically, emotionally right now for you. So I'm seeing this be like an employment actually of your Pluto Scorpio energy, depending on where Pluto/Scorpio falls in your chart. This does very much feel like we are treating the shadow differently. Rather than the shadow being an enemy, again, it's this vibe of like, come in, let's take a walk together, like tell me why you're here today and what's going on. And it changes the dynamic, and it also changes how you work with yourself. Rather than the shadow popping up and being like, oh no, it's you again, like, if I see you ever again, it's going to be too soon. This is you being in a space where you're kind of like being open to like what's coming and what's going. And rather than holding on to it or running away from it, it's kind of like, oh, if you want to come to the party, you can be here too. You can leave when you want to leave, whatever. Like, it's not as much of a big deal anymore. And so this is changing the way that you're working with yourself. This is also changing the way that you're working with other people around you. Also people that are maybe when you see their shadows pop up, it's like because you're learning to work with yours, it's also helping you to work with other people too when they're in that space. And rather than seeing them totally as their shadow when it pops up, you understand that's just a piece of them, just like you have a piece of that too. The culmination of all of the fractals. So we have Mercury and Scorpio here. Mercury is to think, Scorpio is to go deep. So there may be like a deep psychological analysis that you're doing, an understanding, a deep dive of your processing. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing you like in a very bold, creative energy. Like, I'm seeing you in a position that is definitely very respected and seen as very, very capable. I'm seeing you have a very strong, colorful voice. So you working in this way, it seems like it empowers you to take action, and it provides maybe the opening of a door that you hadn't seen was available before. I am seeing this Ten of Swords. I want to know who this is linked to, though. Something that was no longer fitting for you anymore comes to an end. It's kind of like literally as this door is closing, another one opens simultaneously. But the door that's closing was something that was no longer fitting anymore. I don't know what this is, but I'm getting something like that. Something about things not fitting anymore, and then I'm seeing another door open for you. But it seems like it only came after you ended something. So before, you may not have, it's like you needed to be empowered in some way to call an ending that needed to be done, but I'm seeing you do that. But it may not have been the easiest thing, because I'm seeing you need to be in this energy of the King of Wands in order to do this. And I'm seeing this be you here. Although there are a couple different energies that I'm seeing within this, so if that's not you, it can be somebody else. Somebody needed to really get brave in order to end something, and then I'm seeing like another opportunity open up immediately. Like that that Ace of Wands comes out right after this. And the thing with this too is that it's not just like, oh, an ending that was very painful. It's like this needed to come to an end because it was something that wasn't working anymore anyway. But there may have been some resistance to that, especially mentally, of I wish that it would have continued on. It's like a lack of acceptance. That's what this is about. And that's why it can hurt so badly too. Because it's like, maybe I wasn't mentally prepared to need to end things now, or maybe I like wanted to be weaned off it, like titrated a little bit with the energy. But the beautiful thing about this is that it's like as one cycle closes, because this is a 10, so that's like zip on this cycle, you have a 1 here, and that's like a reopening, a re-emerging, and you go through, it's like death and rebirth here with these energies. And I'm seeing like one really need to be in this space of like taking initiative, and I'm going to make a bold move or a brave move. I really trust myself. I trust what I'm doing here. Like I don't need somebody else to do it. I will initiate it myself. That's what this energy is. And I'm seeing one's voice definitely be needed to do this. I'm seeing a lot of masculine energy. We have the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the King of Wands here. Masculine energy is initiating, getting things done, getting things started, moving, shaking. Okay, so now there is a looking this opportunity over. I'm seeing something pop up. So that door closes, this one opens, right? And I'm seeing one checking this out and being like, I need to think about it. I want to reflect on it before I do anything with it. Hermit is like, let's take this stopwatch and click it and pause time for a moment where I don't need to do anything except think and reflect. And when I'm done doing that, I'm going to click the resume button and I will tell you what I want to do about this. But I need to think about this on my own privately. So there's a lot of stillness in this decision. Okay, we have someone else joining the party here. So the reason that one goes into hermit mode is to reflect and ask oneself, is this in alignment with my true purpose? Because I don't want to be frivolous in taking this. I want to be thoughtful and really ask myself, does this reflect my purpose? Is this in alignment with my long-term goals? Like, is this connected with my deeper wants and wishes? So you're asking yourself, like, did this opportunity come from, like, did it arise from my field of dreams, or did it arise elsewhere? And needing to really reflect and check back with oneself before you respond. And that is how you make the right decision about whether or not to take this opportunity. I'm seeing you be very pleased with the way that you've been working with yourself. And I'm also seeing this time that you spend reflecting. It's like there's this opportunity here. You're thinking about it. You're checking back and asking yourself, like, does this connect with, like, my purpose and where I see myself? Like, is this truly, if I take everybody else out of this and I'm just doing this for me, like, does this work for myself? Because this is you, like, in your most authentic state. Like, this is the star. This is you being brave. This is you following your dreams, asking yourself, like, is this connected with my pursuit of happiness? And because of you doing that, like, does this opportunity feel authentic to me? Because of you doing that, you end up making a choice that you feel very happy about because you did it with the right motivations, like to empower yourself. And so you feel empowered, you feel a sense of fulfillment with the direction that you decide to go in. So we're looking at Mercury, Virgo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. I'm seeing you also needed to sort of like create yourself into this position, like maybe you didn't so much see yourself as like an authority before, but I'm seeing with the Magician and with this King of Wands here, this is you like creating yourself into some sort of authority and like putting out that sort of energy. So it's kind of like, I'm getting a reference to Harold and the Purple Crayon. It's sort of like you're drawing or building yourself into this like character, like you want to step into this, and so you make that happen. And I'm seeing you really have the tools, because that's what the Magician is represented as, you having what you need to create. And I'm seeing this be like a kind of like a persona that you're creating for yourself of, I'm going to step into this energy and I'm going to channel it, and this is me like leading and making decisions executively and not needing somebody else to come before me. Like I'm the one that's deciding this for myself, and I'm checking in and I know that's right for me. And for some of you to have this King of Pentacles here too, this can mean you making some sort of bold move with your career, or with something that you're going to be committing to doing, a role that you're committing yourself to, where you've like taken something upon yourself now. Now a part of this and a process of this means that something is going to be coming to an end if it has not already. This may be a difficult thing to do. 10 of Swords is here, so this is going to be a challenge, but this means again like something was not fitting. And so it needed to come to an end. Even if there are parts of you that's like, were you actually ready for that? You know, here, this little shadow is popping up and being like, did you really make the right decision by doing that? Are you rethinking it? Do you wish you could go backwards? You know, all of that stuff. But I'm seeing this sort of be assuaged actually by you seeing that other door opening, and you're like, wow, I'm so glad that I closed that door, because now I'm seeing this one. And I don't know if I would have seen that door open if that other one hadn't closed. And then I'm seeing you get like very still and very present, and I'm seeing there be this reflection. So rather than you feeling like, I need to go, 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 even though that door is opening, I'm seeing you actually get very, very still and very reflective and be checking in. And again, like I'm not seeing your shadow be motivating you here. And that may have been something that motivated you in the past. Like this can be fear motivating you, coming up and being like, do this. If you take the time to think about this, maybe that chance won't be there anymore. You know, like all of the scary stories that we tell ourselves and that we go on like acting on the part of our fear. And I'm seeing you do things a different way this time. And that's what I'm seeing this come up as. It's like you're taking your time to think and to reflect. And I'm seeing this be a change that's really helping you like grow into your own energy, your sense of purpose. To have this, you could be working with somebody. There could be somebody that you're collaborating with. But more than anything, I see this as being like a different... you instigating change when it comes to the way that you collaborate with yourself and all of these different aspects and parts of yourself. Again, there can be like other people that are involved in this, but it's first and foremost what's going on internally. And I'm seeing you feel very, very happy with the outcome of this. To go over the signs again, we're looking at Aquarius, Scorpio, Virgo, Mercury. I'm also hearing Mars. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.